A warm welcome to you all this beautiful, really beautiful Sunday, kind of sunny morning. Yes, it's the ninth day in the month of December, slowly but surely. Yeah, the year is going to come to an end. I'd like to welcome you all to the program Dawn on Sundays. Yes, if you're listening from Akwa Ibom, listening from Aba, listening from any part of River State, even Bayelsa, some parts of Delta State and Calabar, I say a warm welcome to you all. And I'm wondering how you guys are doing this fine, sunny Sunday morning. Who went to church, who didn't, who intends to go later, or maybe do some meditations of your own with the Bible at home. Who's spring cleaning, who's not, who's doing cosmetic cleaning, throwing things under the beds or hiding things under things, just to give the appearance of cleanliness or the appearance of having cleaned your surrounding. Anyway, all I ask, even if you're cooking, all I ask is that you either turn up the volume on your radio set if it's immovable, or you turn up the volume on your mobile phones. And yes, that's why it's called a mobile phone. Because I think I have something great or good to share with you today. Now, for those of you who might just be wondering, what is it that they do right about now, from now till about midday? Well, we're going to be talking. Not random, irrelevant talk. We're going to be talking about our human experience, our human work, our journey through life so far. You see, each one of us at one point in time has experienced fear or shame or guilt or made mistakes. We've had highs and lows and sometimes in betweens. We've had moments of depression and despair. We've had moments where we've just wanted to give it all up, and we've had victorious moments through trying times. There are so many things that as human beings we have experienced. And so we'll be talking about that today. But in a different way today, I'm going to be using music as usual, and I'm going to be telling you stories of people who have surmounted stuff or been through stuff, and their lives or their tales can be used as pointers for things we should do or things we should not do. Yes, we'll be doing that today. But let's see now, we'll be touching on everything. I woke up this morning and the thought came to me. The year is ending. 2018 is about to say see you, and 2019 is about to say hola. You understand? And I got a bit reflective, and it hit me. That is the topic for today's program. We're looking at times past. We're looking at what 2018 has taught us. We're looking at what life has taught us. You see, life can come at you hard, it can come at you fast in the space of a year. Every day you live for a year, life could have one thing or the other to teach you. The universe, the creator, God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. Life could have one thing to teach you, or two things, or three. Or maybe for each 365 day of the year, life will teach you something. Now, it doesn't matter if you are an atheist, or an agnostic, or you are a deep, staunch Christian. You might be passionate about your denomination and not Christianity itself, but about the denomination you follow. It doesn't matter if maybe you've never heard of Christ, or you have heard of Christ and couldn't be bothered. This program, this platform is for everybody. You see, even a clock that's bad, that stopped working, is correct at least 2 times in a day. Even that clock has something to tell you. Even a madman, as destable as he is, or unstable as he is, could sometimes speak with such profound wisdom that you'll be like, wow, that actually did make sense. So you see, this platform is for everybody. Even the Bible does say, out of the mouth of babes, which is babies, the truth shall be spoken. So you're all welcome, one and all. Whatever life has taught you, I would like to hear. Yes, it's going to be very interactive today, if you will permit. You call in and you tell us, this is what life has taught me, or this is what I went through. And this is what I gleaned or learned from or took away from that particular experience. Of course, don't worry, I have stories of people to share as well. But let me give out the phone lines just in case you have a story you want to share or you want to call in and ask a question. We're all here ready to advise you or ready to point you in directions that worked for us. Yes, I told you today's program is going to be very different. We're reflecting about 2018, about life. So the numbers to call 081 885 88155. Don't worry, I'll give it out later on in the show, but just in case, 081 885 88155 and 080 928 95620. That's 080 928 95620. You can also send in a text message to 0908 668 1703. That's 0908 668 1703. Now, before I get into the meat of the matter, I would like to say a big thank you to Peter. Peter is a taxi driver who somehow miraculously happened to carry me today as I was coming to work. We just got into random conversation, and he told me that, well, it was about the price. I didn't like his price, and as we were haggling, I happened to tell him where I was going, which is here, 89.9. And he said, my radio station only picks that station. I can't pick any other. So I always listen to you guys. I said, okay, that's lovely. And he said, you people are trying, you really give us good information and this and that. In fact, right now you guys have been playing music for so long. When on I go talk? I said, don't worry, they're waiting for me because my shift starts the talking on Sundays. And he said, oh really? Now you be that person where they talk like a pastor? And I said, I'm not a pastor, I'm just an average human being. And he said, you did try and he goes into this long speech about the program. And he told me how sometimes it helps him remember things he has forgotten, gives him, perspective and all that. And yes, I must be grateful to him. And to all of you out there who listen to the program. And I'm thankful, I'm grateful that in some way, one way or the other, it has touched your lives. So I'm grateful. So thank you, Peter. Weird thing is, Peter not only happens to be the name of my father, my grandfather, and my brothers. So imagine. Yes, I've been touched from above. But anyway, digression. I said I have stories to tell you. Now let's start off the first story. This young man, it's going to be, let's title this program, Life Lessons Don't Come Cheap. Or Life Lessons Don't Come Easy. And that's true. John Maxwell would say, experience is the best teacher. Then he tweaks it a bit and says, evaluated experience is the best teacher. So let's evaluate the experiences we've had in life. So this young man got married to this lovely young lady. And, well, it was kind of like love at first sight, They would end up having 4 children. Now, this man, he didn't, well, he went to school, primary school and secondary school, but he didn't attend university. And just about that time, Nigeria was beginning to turn. It was sometime in the 80s. Okay, so Nigeria was beginning to turn. And he didn't really have anything, any job to do. So the wife tells him, your dad at least has some money. Why don't we go and meet him for a loan and see if we can start something? So he goes off to Lagos State to meet his father and asks for money. Now at that time, the father gave him 5,000 naira. And 5,000 naira back in the day must have been, hey, a lot of money. A lot of money. Maybe it would have been akin to, I don't know, 500,000 then, or even more than, I don't know. But 5,000. And so he comes back, finds a small shop for rent, and pays the rent, and they buy things like curry, rice, tinned tomatoes, and stuff like that. A little provision shop. Now, this man and his wife, she would come to the shop to kind of like help him out, and he would always tell her, go home, he has everything under control. One day, while he was struggling, a friend of his would say, let's call him John. John, your wife is there now, and she is of Eastern extraction. I don't want to, before people start thinking one tribe is more than the other. So she's of the Eastern extraction, and they are known for their hardworking and industrious nature. Why not allow her run this place? Because she actually thought that he opened that place for her, but he always kept sending her away. Now this young man thought about it and decided, okay, makes sense. And he told his wife, all right, you run the shop. Now, under her, the shop started flourishing, but also under his management. You see, he had skills in administrative things. He could keep good bookkeeping records. He could take stock, so the administrative part of the job, he could do it and do it really well. But you see, the buying and selling, the trading was this lady's forte. And under her, not only did they sell gari and rice, they branched into other things. Prawns, lobsters, exotic seafood. They branched into, what's that thing now? Soulfish, calamari. Some people call them octopus. Yeah, calamari. Let's see now. Prawns, shrimps, butter, sausages of different kinds. Yeah, I love food, so I can afford to. I have deep knowledge of food because I'm a foodie. But all these things, they sold. And so the business flourished. They became a leading name and a leading brand in all things food. In fact, different companies who are still standing now first started through this little mom and pop shop. If they didn't endorse your goods, you haven't even started. Now, Lord alone knows where things start going a bit pear-shaped, but the husband began to stray from the shop more and more and wasn't doing his administrative duties. Once in a while he would take stock, but for the most part he was out hanging out with friends, while this lady would always be in the shop selling. In fact, back in the day, the shops didn't really have toilets. So she would have a little, okay, let me be a bit decent here and call it a pee cup, where she would pee and then keep it, and at the end of the day she would throw it away and all that. And this was a company that had grown to a staff strength of about 12, including the drivers. Under this business, they had bought a cold room, they were really doing well. But the husband would many a times be seen in one joint or the other. Don't worry, I have permission from the lady to share her story. We're reflecting today, 2018. Now, from one joint to the other, to the point where he became quite popular to people who made things like Ishe Uba. What else is out there? All those Pyom Pyom and Matching Ground. They knew him very well. In fact, he was a very loyal customer. But the wife never got to enjoy any of these things. And the years rolled by. Their children attended good schools. The years were still rolling, they were growing, they were seeing things that were happening. All of a sudden, I don't know, life and maybe the way it teaches people, things began to go south. Money started becoming tight. They started owing their suppliers. In fact, sometimes they would sell, let's say, okay, back in the day, they would sell like 20,000 or so, and suppliers will come, and before you know it, they'll be left with 1,000 naira at the end of the day to go back home with. And this woman couldn't understand what was going on. But this it had taken a number of years to manifest. You see, let's say, let me speculate because I didn't ask, but she said a number of years. So let's say it took about maybe 15-20 years for this thing to happen, to the point where they finally closed down. I used to shop there. That's how I became friendly with the lady. I used to shop there. Their goods were affordable, and for the most part they were very honest. If you didn't like a thing, you bring it back, the woman would say no problem, they will change it or they refund your money back. So that kind of behavior drew me to her. Well, I like making friends. I like listening to people. I like hearing stories. Or maybe I'm just an aproko. I don't know. But that's how she and I got close. So imagine my surprise when I came back from law school and I went to buy some stuff and they had closed down. I tracked her down. And so yes, this is the story. You see, in that 20-year period, there was money. She says they were courted by several banks because there was money. There were a name, a brand name. Now here's where life lesson number one. By the time they closed down, they were still tenants in another person's house. They had lived about 30 years or so in someone else's house, paying rent. The man had enjoyed his tomorrow, today, so to speak. All the fair weather friends that hung around him at that point in time disappeared. In fact, a number of his friends have gone on to be, what would I call it now? I won't say great, but they have become known names in politics. Places like Bayelsa, even Lagos. In fact, she pointed out one guy who is currently running for governorship in a particular state. And she said, you see that man? I said, yes. He used to sleep on our couch. I said, serious? He said, yes, he used to sleep on our couch. My husband used to give him money to eat and all that till he was able to stand. In fact, the lady he married met him in our house, his current wife. And I was like, whoa, you guys know people. She said, yes, but what will we use it to do? Because when we had time on our hands and the money, my husband frittered it away. And I asked her, why didn't you, put mouth, do something about it? Well, sad thing is, she lived in kind of fear of her husband because not only did he have a temper, according to her, he was known to be a bit of a, well, when they say smack sense into you, yes, so he was, or should we say domestic violence. Back in the day, it was rife in people's homes, I believe, back in the day. It wasn't looked upon as something really, really bad. I guess it's now that it has gained traction that we now say domestic violence is bad and all that. But back in the day, I guess a lot of people indulged in it. Men and women indulged in it. But I think back then, maybe more men than women. But that's just my opinion. So now, in the end, the place where they had lived for about 30 years or so, the landlord now said he wanted to take back the place and do something else with it. And they had to move. Thing is, the husband was saying, let's move to the village. And she was like, I cannot, I'll die there. I need to work. I cannot just go there, sit down and be looking at, mango trees and all that. Sad thing is, they didn't even have a home in the village. Yes, sad. But now the man is back in the village. He managed to scrape a couple of, he managed to scrape funds together and built one small thing in the village. And he's, doing his thing. The wife is here. Her children are catering for her. They were able to rent a small place. I think why the husband didn't want to stay with his wife was because he felt ashamed. He felt a bit small. This was a man who in his heydays could afford anything. He could afford to walk into any shop, a car shop, and buy a car right off the bat, as in brand new. Of course, he had his fair share of carrying women about. So there was that as well. I don't know if money kind of poisons people, or money makes you feel you can do anything to the point where you forget to be civil, or you forget to be loyal, or you forget to be faithful, or you forget the foundations that should make you human and humane. I don't know if it's money's fault or if it's just that that's how the person is. So currently, she's living in a 3-bedroom apartment rented for her by her kids. Now, try as they could to try and get their father to, be under the same roof with the mother, he refuses. Of course, I don't know if she has a scoring, but I believe that every human being has their scoring. Nobody is perfect, not even me, not even myself. So, life lesson number one. So long as you've got strength in your bones and you are young, you are youthful. When your blessings come, and they do come in different ways, in different shapes and forms. Sometimes blessings may not come as financial, let's see now, abundance. But it might come in the form of you having to scrimp and save and get somewhere with that money. So long as you are young and you have strength in your bones, make hay. I think that's what they call it. Hay while the sun shines. Or is it make haste while the sun shines? You know what? All join. That's life lesson number one. Don't waste your life. Life lesson number two. Well, after this song, I will give you life lesson number two. Here's this one by Carrie Underwood, and it's titled Wasted. It's still done on Sundays, and have I got plenty to tell you. And that was Wasted by Carrie Underwood. Remember, yes, this is still your Groovin Star station, Garden City Radio 89.9 FM. Time check is 35 minutes, gone past 10 o'clock, and we are reflecting on life. Life lessons don't come cheap. Life lessons don't come easy. And we're reflecting on everything that 2018 possibly could have taught us, even life. I just told you the story of a young man who, well, thought he had too much time. And now, in his gray days, he doesn't. Now, some of you might be in this man's shoes, and you know, you look at yourself and you start saying, I used to be, I used to be, I used to be. Here's what I'd like to tell you. You no longer are that person. But you know what? You're still alive. There's this old lady. Yes, there's still time. You're not dead. So until you die, you still have a second shot at something. And though you might look at yourself and say, as I old like this, well, you may not be the one who would go on to do it, but you could give somebody an idea, an honest person anyway, or maybe your child, and say, look at this plan, look at this project. Can we do this? Can we do that? And you never know. Success might find you, even though you might need a little help. And I mean, no man is an island. At one point or the other, we will need people. We just have to be careful the sort of people we think we need. So we should be double sure of who we introduce into our plans, no matter how old we are. So I was saying, there's this old lady, I've forgotten her name. You can go online and Google her. The old lady that acted as one of the elders in council in the movie Black Panther. This lady is in her 80s. And her first role, I believe, I hope I'm not wrong, or one of her early roles is actually the character, the part of the elder in council for Black Panther. I mean, she came out from nowhere, took training obviously and all that as an old woman, and at the age of 80 something, one of the biggest roles, first role, yes, was as an elder in council in one of the hottest movies ever to be made, Black Panther. So you have no excuse. Not even the situation of Nigeria, the hard situation of Nigeria should be an excuse. It shouldn't. It can't. People always say if you can make it in Nigeria, you can make it anywhere. Then it stands to reason that if you can make it in Nigeria, you can make it in Nigeria. Yeah, I know. Think about it. You've struggled this far, and you go out to another country and you make it. What if you struggle this far, and you're still in Nigeria, and you make it? All you need is just to think outside of the box. There are so many new things that you can start in Nigeria, and you'll be surprised at the traction you would gain or the speed with which you would hit wealth. I mean, think about the first person who actually started pure water business. He first started as selling those 1 naira things on the road. Before you know it, it turned to pure water. Now everybody does it. But imagine the first person who thought about pure water and made it. And people saw, wow, this thing is much needed. And it is more durable than tying it. It's even cleaner if you are an honest businessman. It's even cleaner than, fetching from the taps and all that inside waterproof and tying it up. So you can come up with different things. You can come up with, I don't know, an innovative way to make ice cream. And before you know it, somebody is coming to buy the franchise from you. How about all these people who are now going into programming, writing codes and all that? And even Facebook and the rest of them have looked at us and said, Nigeria has potential. Let's see. We could take these people and make money for ourselves. But you would also be making money for yourself in that thing. And before now, how many Nigerians were into programming or even writing of codes? So look around. All you need to do is think. People say if you can think it, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And remember, even though you don't have the complete capacity to be able to do that dream, that thing you have in your mind that nobody has this idea. Like I said earlier, instead of that thing remaining an idea in your stomach, you can look for someone you can partner with for a small percentage and build your dream. You don't have to necessarily be greedy. You want 100% of it all and then the dream never is birthed. So yes, you have something innovative, look for the person who will back you. You can come up with some legal way of protecting yourself or patenting the thing or hiding one crucial bit of the dream. That way, even if they try to steal it, they'll fall flat on their face because they don't have that bit, that screw you have kept one corner. Well, there are ways to protect yourself. So don't look at yourself and say, I am old, therefore it's over for me. Let me tell you what this man is currently doing in the village. Because I asked his wife, what is he doing? He's farming. Yes. Beans, corn, and different things. And even the government has said agriculture is the way to go. If we're going to diversify from oil, agriculture is the way to go. So is he just sitting down there and wallowing? No, he's not. He's actually still trying. Now imagine if he is able to make a great haul or a great harvest and find somebody who's interested in buying his harvest, or finds companies. I mean, we have for corn now, we have the what's that thing called now? Bendel feed mill or something somewhere in Edo State. Imagine if he's able to hook up with them and they say, okay, let's be buying this corn from you. I think even the people who make okay, let's not do an advert for them, but they make a breakfast cereal, a Nigerian breakfast cereal. If you think, well, you know where I'm going with this, and they use corn for it. They could find him and say, hey, farmer, okay, let's buy from you. Has he learned from his mistakes though? I don't know. But has he learned from his mistake? Yes. If you think, well, you understand what I mean. He's no longer following friends because he's in the village. Which friend will follow him? Well, has he learned now that he has to get his act together? I believe so. But I wish he was listening to this program. I wish he would also give his family a second chance. Go back home. There's nothing better than family. And there is no bond stronger than blood. I know how many times I've fallen flat on my face, embarrassed myself to no end, done some stupid things. But my family has always been there after slapping me around, obviously. They've always been there. Even you think about it, I know some people don't have great families. Some of them might be like Tufi Aqua, but okay, for the possibly greater majority of us that have loved ones, even though they drive you crazy and sometimes you just want to stick a hot fork in somebody's eye, if someone were to embarrass you on the road or accost you or assault you, I think your family will fall out. And it will be the fight of the century. So there's nothing stronger than the bond of blood. That's what I believe. So yes, life lessons don't come easy. Life lessons don't come cheap. There are some of you. Okay, let me give it to you in this story format. There's this young boy. who, well, made a couple of mistakes, quite unruly and all that, but, well, for the most part, good guy, good guy. And he would end up meeting this young lady and felt she was the right person for him. Thing is, his family didn't think so. Sometimes the elders will say, what an old man sees sitting down, a young man or a young person standing up still cannot see it. And so he was warned. This person may not be for you. See, look at. Now, it would have been a beautiful thing if the young man had said, okay, let me slow down and see if this thing is actually real. But, you know, sometimes we young people, independence sometimes can get the better of us. We forget that there's such a thing as wisdom. And he rushed into a relationship with this lady and rushed into marriage. Sad thing is, when things became hard, and you see, that's the thing about life. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. When he fell, when things, you know, kind of scattered for him, the true nature of the lady came out. To the point where sometimes he would prefer not going home at all, because he knows the problems he will face. In fact, it is so bad that these days he preempts her reaction in certain things, and he behaves in a way that will not give him problem with this woman. Should anybody be living like that, where you anticipate the reaction of another human being? And I don't care if it is male or female now, gender neutrality, where your wife or your husband has to, you know, walk on eggshells. If I do this, this might happen, so let me not do this. If I do this, this might happen. Now, of course, there are times when you know that, okay, this thing I'm doing is bad, so let me not do it so that my wife won't get angry or my husband won't get angry, but that's different. This is a situation where this person is known to be a sour individual. So if I do this, all the bile and bitterness this person has been feeling will be poured on me, so let me not. Wow. That's wow. I don't know how to complete that statement. But you see, if he had only listened, to advice, maybe he wouldn't be in the position he's in. And so that's reflection number 2. You might be in a situation now where if only you had listened, you wouldn't be in that situation. Here's the thing. Is it possible to turn that situation around? Sit down and analyze what you're in, especially if it isn't something that has to do with permanence. Is there a way you can work something out that the other party and yourself will be happy, but you'll be out of the problem, or both of you will be out of the situation? All it requires is a bit of thought, possibly, or thinking outside of the box, to come up with something that will save your sanity, save your peace of mind, and get you rebounding to whom you used to be, or somebody better. But at least you've learned the life lesson of listening to sound advice. Here's what I do when people give me advice. First of all, I resist. Oh, I resist, because I don't like change. But after that resistance, I sometimes go back. 2 things. I'll go back and I'll think on what the person said without taking action. I'll think on what the person said, analyze it very well, and if it has substance, I try to see how I can take decisions or actions that would, you know, put me in a better position. Sometimes even I might argue with the person who's talking, but I'm listening to what that person is saying and analyzing. And if it makes sense, I take the bit that makes sense and cast away the part that doesn't make sense. And see, I have come out better for it. I have avoided stepping on landmines because of the advice of friends and sometimes family members. Of course, I am able to see the one that I know this person just wants to put me into trouble. And so I find a way of doing that thing without falling into the pit that has been dug for me. That's why God gave us brains, thinking man, Homo sapien that we are. Now, if you don't have the mental capacity to think and analyze critically, you can meet people you consider wise, or you consider having some amount of sense or common sense, and say, see, what do you think? And you add their little knowledge to yours, and you come out with something great. it's always good to listen. Because at the other side of listening might be victory, breakthrough, happiness, long life. I know a lot of people who didn't listen and entered problems. Some even died in the process, never to be heard from again. And they were in was Marvin Sapp with Listen, and I hope you guys have been listening. Time check, it's 6 minutes to 11. Now remember, you can call in. Yes, you can. I said we're doing things a little bit differently today. You can call in, ask a question, tell us your own reflections. What has life taught you? What has God taught you? The universe, the creator, your experiences, what have they taught you? Yes, it's also your turn and your time to, teach us something or two. Remember the numbers to call: 081 885 88155. That's 081 885 88155 and 080 928 95620. That's 080 928 95620. You can also send a text message to 090 8668 1703. That's 090 8668 1703. Life lessons don't come cheap. Life lessons don't come easy. What's his name? John Maxwell says evaluated experiences are the best teacher. We say experience is the best teacher, but it's evaluated experience is the best teacher, according to John Maxwell. And that's true. You see, something can happen to you and you would overlook it or not think about it and then not learn. But when you think about that thing you've been through, you evaluate it, then you look at maybe where you went wrong or did not go wrong, and then you learn. Some kind of knowledge, I guess, comes to you. So yes, evaluated experience is the best teacher. Now, let me tell you another one. Something I learned over time. All that glitters is not gold. Yeah, we've heard that saying a number of times. All that glitters is not gold. Now let me tell you this girl's story. This girl happened to come from, I wouldn't call it a humble background. She came from a home where, well, they could afford some things. They couldn't afford traveling abroad. They couldn't afford exotic hotels or vacations or whatever in life. But at least her parents could afford to give her 3 square meals. A boy and a girl. That's her and her brother. So they could afford to give them 3 square meals, send them to an okay school. At least they had some things to make life comfortable. Satellite TV, well, air conditioner, because here in Africa we look at AC as one kind of big thing. So yes, air conditioners, they had a room to themselves, So they were an okay family. Not rich, but at least getting by. Now this girl would make friends with a big man's daughter. At the time, she didn't know they were rich. They happened to go to the same school. So one day she was invited over to the girl's house. And she got there and saw that, wow, these people live in GRA and they are so rich. Oh my, this is what I've always wanted. And so she began to associate with them, because she liked their lifestyle. And she began to look down on her own family, wishing that, what her friend had, she had. Sometimes she would even beg her family, her parents, please, can I sleep over? Just because she wanted to, live the life, so to speak. The sad thing is, they were eating rice, so was she. They were eating pasta, so was she. Gari and soup, so was she. There wasn't much difference except for the fact that this man happened to have much more money than her father or her parents. Now let me I won't really shock you, but let me shock you somewhat. You see, this rich man happened to be married to 3 wives. Not only was he married to 3 wives, he also had other women who had given birth for him, those he didn't marry. Now, so one time it will come to, the way people carry rumors and stuff. People started carrying rumors about the man that he wasn't so genuine, The source of his wealth was funny. Some said he delved into fetish things, and others said he was more into fraudulent activities. Well, they weren't sure where he made his money from. As a young girl, it didn't really matter to her that, okay, fraudulent activity or he's married to 3 wives and all that. It was later on in life, after looking down on what she had been given and what she was born into, later on in life, she realized that her father has a good name, or had a good name. I don't know, the guy's still alive, so her father has a good name. Her father is respected. People like her father. Sometimes people will come to her father for some kind of help. Her father also wasn't married to, every Jane, Isabella, and Edna out there. One wife. There also weren't women popping out from the woodwork saying, I have a baby for him. Different things. And you see, this I have a baby for him, it was when the guy eventually died that, ooh, as you're dead now, people they'll go to town with the things you did and the things you possibly didn't do. Women were popping out. This is his son. This is his son. This is his daughter. This is his child, And she suddenly realized that she has it good. They may not be able to, like I said, travel to Dubai or the Seychelles or, some exotic place. But they had peace. They had a united home. And then she stopped. She decided to stop looking down on herself and thinking that just because she didn't have enough or more than enough, that the rich or the ultra rich were better than her. Life lessons don't come cheap. You need to appreciate what you've been given. Even if you're poor today, even if you're born into a poor family today, your struggle could turn it around for you. You see, God is possible. And this is not just, me reassuring you, but it's possible that God has put you in that family and put you in that situation, because that situation is meant to grow you. That situation is meant to teach you. You are supposed to learn from whatever you're passing through, be it the humiliation, the insult, be it having to have to train yourself to see yourself as confident, to be happy in your situation, and yet working hard to make something more of yourself. You have been given a tool, a beautiful tool, in that circumstance to become much more than you are. And this is my own life lesson, I'm telling you. This is mine. Not the girl's story, but we share similar stories. There was a time, yes, I used to think other people were better than me. There was a time when, I would see, children of the rich and whatnot, and I'll be like, child, now wow, see what she's wearing, see her perfume, see how this, see how that. There was a time I didn't have. And so I struggled. And it was an, let's see, how will I call it now? Not a voluntary struggle. It was just life. Different things were happening to me. At one point in time, I was even homeless. Yes, me talking. I was even homeless, sleeping on people's couches in Abuja because I was struggling to make something of my life. I slept on a friend's couch for 1 month. But you see, all those experiences now made me realize my worth. If somebody comes today and tells me, you fat fool, I will laugh and tell you it's because I'm enjoying life, or it's because I have peace of mind. There's not a thing anybody will tell me any longer that will make me look down on myself. Because you see, what I have passed through has taught me that I am going somewhere. I am going to be somebody. Now, I may not be a millionaire or a trillionaire or whatever, but I know that I will be content and comfortable with that place I'm going when I reach that place. So appreciate what you've been given. It's a tool. It's a tool to get to the next level, if you will see it like that. You don't have today, fight to have tomorrow. Train yourself. Somebody called. They called my mother. I don't know how they, got introduced to her. And the person was telling her that, I listened to your daughter on radio. And she sounds like, man, She has gone to the highest educational buildings or whatever, gone through rich education. Maybe she went to Harvard or one kind of thing. My mother started laughing. Are you serious? My daughter schooled in Ekpoma. Yes, me. That seems to, well, some people say I have my life together. I don't know about that, but well, I went to Ekpoma. Dodging bullets. I lived in the hostel. I went to a village school. But how am I able to do this? Training, reading books, listening to people older than me, learning from others. That is how I am able to do this. And that is how you will be able to do it as well. You learn, you listen, you fight, you struggle, you fall, you stand again, you keep going, but you appreciate what you've been given, you appreciate and love who you are, love yourself. All that glitters is not gold. You don't know what that person you're envying or being so jealous of is doing to stay in the position they are in. And it's possible that they may have peaked at that position. And you are envying somebody who has stalled. Meanwhile, you are supposed to shoot ahead like the shooting star that you are. You just need to see yourself as a shooting star. Right now, you may be a diamond in the rough, in the ground, covered with dirt and whatnot. What are you going to do? You will wash the dirt off. And the washing of that dirt is the training you give yourself. Is it having to sell in the market? Is it having to have wheelbarrow and be doing ogbaja or chop passenger while you are learning? You don't necessarily have to go to school, although formal education is necessary. But you can learn from, we all have smartphones now. You can learn different things on YouTube. You can read. You can go and meet different people and say, tell me something, teach me something, mentor me. And when you come out, you'll say, child, this person attended Stanford. Fire! You attended the school of hard knocks. And you can turn to be a light for others, a mentor for others. I've told you the story of Tyler Perry. I think I'll look for the audio. I hope I have it. Tyler Perry slept in his car for about 3 years. This man that we all, whoa, look at the things he's doing. He has the Tyler Perry studios and all that. He slept in his car for 3 years. The play that will eventually culminate into one of the Medea, the birthing of Medea, and the character of Medea, I think is, I know I have been changed, I know I have changed, was an absolute flop. Only about 30 people or 36 people or so came to see it. It was an abysmal flop. But he kept going, and I think 3 or 6 years later, here we go, here we are, Tyler Perry to the world. Dude used to sleep in his car. And Tyler Perry is quite a tall fellow, so I can imagine the discomfort he would have endured sleeping in his car. So appreciate what you've been given, because what you've been given is your launching pad, is your stepping stone and not a stumbling block, unless you choose to see it that way. And that is life lesson number 4, I believe. How do you choose to see yourself, your situation, your life? Do you see your life as, this poverty, this bad luck, this, that? Or do you see it as an obstacle that you must bring down? There's a phrase in the Bible, a saying in the Bible that I love. It says, the weapons of our warfare are not of this world. They are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Think about it. If by prayer, which is warfare, we are fighting, we use prayer, pray, and somehow things begin to change, although you have to do the work, because, faith without good works is dead. You have to do the work, but you pray, an opportunity presents itself. You seize that opportunity, and you see the strongholds falling down. How do you see yourself? How do you see your situation? You see it as a stepping stone and not as a stumbling block. See it as something you must defeat. Because as I always say, the human spirit, it cannot die. It will only die when God calls your spirit to Him, back to Him, the source. Even then, you'll be alive. So let's say it's the body that can die. But for now, while your body is still moving or carrying your spirit in it, come on. Come on. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can. All you need to do is set your mind to it. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate what you've been given. You're perfect. So long as you're not a bad person, you're perfect. Just the way you are. Now, just the way you are, use it and do something. Use it and build your life. Use it and leave a lasting legacy. Just the way you are. And that was Billy Joel with I Love You Just the Way You Are. Yes, just the way you are. Time check is 15 minutes gone past 11 o'clock. Hey, you can call in with your own words of advice. We're being reflective today. 2018 is fast. Okay, and we have a call. Let's see. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, Bob, my good friend. Hey, Benjamin.
Benjamin, all right.
Wow. What can I say? Your program is wonderful. In fact, you don't even know what humanity. You are changing lives there. I say God will bless you.
God bless you too, Benjamin.
As I'm a testimony, I will say since I started listening to this program, in fact, everything about my life I said, this program brought out potentials in me which I never knew I had.
Wow.
In my job place, even in my marriage. The only God will bless you, embodiment of wisdom and gift to humanity. May God richly bless you.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Hey. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, but life lessons don't come cheap. I don't know if I'm a wise person. I sincerely doubt it. I'm a wise person because I have had my own share of humility, but I think it's the things that I passed through in life, what God handed to me as my own life, and what He helped me make out of it, that I'm just pouring out for you guys. I don't know if it is wisdom. I don't know. I doubt it is wisdom, but well, let's continue. You can call in on 081 with your own words of wisdom, yes, because anything you've passed through in life, your own experience and what you learned from it is wisdom in the end. So you can call in and teach us, guide us with what you've been through, what you've passed through, what you've been able to surmount and all. So 081 885 88155. That's 081 885 88155 and 080 928 95620. That's 080 928 95620. And also you can send text messages to 090 8668 1703. That's 090 8668 1703. Now, while we're talking about reflecting on appreciating what you have, there's one important thing I forgot to say before we listen to Billy Joel, and it is about our parents. You see, parents, you have to appreciate the kids you have. Now, yesterday I was hanging out with a lady, and she had a quarrel. Well, I don't know if I'll call it a quarrel. Well, her son is an adult now, so when we quarrel, we all quarrel with our parents once in a while. Now I think it was a bit of crossed wires that caused it. That's one. Two, the son is going through some things, and I think the weight of it, the burden of it, caused him to overreact towards his mother. And the mother had just come back from a wedding, and she said something while they were busy arguing. She said, is it not somebody's wedding she's just coming from? Is it not just somebody's son? You know how our parents talk. Yeah, nobody likes hearing that thing. I know that you probably have heard it. I have heard it in one way or the other. I may not have heard it in a very bad way, but hey, I have heard it. They say, look at so daughter. Why can't you? There was a time when, well, I'm still like that anyway. I'm a bit of a tomboy. So I love dressing in trousers, t-shirts. I'm not a dress person. I'm not a skirt person. If you see me wearing dress, it's because either I was forced into it, or there's somewhere I'm going that, well, I have to wear a dress. Or many times you will see me with a face cap, t-shirt, jeans, or I might have a wig on because I'm not a fan of what's that thing called, weaves. So I have a wig on so that when I get home I can just pop it off and be done with it. And my mom will be like, why can't you be like such and such daughter? She wears nice dresses and this and that. Look at all the dresses I bought for you. That's what I say. No, you sabi. Give me my trousers, give me my short thick and carry where they go. Yeah. But that's the comical side of my family. Some people have it worse, where they will outrightly compare you with the children of another person. And you'll be looking at yourself like, wow, then why did you give birth to me now? So parents, you should also appreciate the kids you have. Because I like to think that this world, God has, how will I put it, designed. I was watching, what's that thing called? Young Sheldon, season 2. And I think in episode 2 of it, his mother was having, for those of you who don't know Young Sheldon, he's the child version of Sheldon of the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, so we get to see how Sheldon became Sheldon. So Young Sheldon. And the mother was having a crisis of faith because a young girl at 16 had gotten into a car accident and died. And his mother was big on faith, as in she believed in God very well. But she started wondering, could this be the will of God? She first said, oh, it's the will of God, but it was worrying her because it could have been her own child that could have been involved in the accident. So it started worrying her. And so, at one point in time, she just snapped. All of us have snapped in different stages in our faith walk. And she decided, you know what, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a nice time. Of course, she went out with her mother. There, Igbo people now, they can hang out with their parents and have a great time. So she drank beer, she came home drunk and this and that. She even stopped saying grace for meals. She was just at crossroads, faith-wise. Now, Sheldon, as a small boy, I think he's 10 years old. Yeah, in the program, he's 10 years old. Doesn't believe in God. The mother was sitting outside and Sheldon comes out to meet his mother and like, Mommy, why this and why that? Why are you behaving like this now? And the mother says, that's not the time, please, that's not the time. And he said, why? Why are you having this crisis of faith? And the mother couldn't explain. She doesn't know if there is a God or this or that. And Sheldon said something profound, atheist that he is. He says, Mommy, do you know that if gravity were a little bit higher than it is, the earth would explode. Well, let me just use that word, explode, as in it would just disintegrate, expand and explode. Now, if gravity was a little lower than it is, the earth would cave in on itself. I hope I'm not mixing it up, but basically that's what he said. The earth would cave in on itself. Mommy, can you see that the world is created just right, as in gravity is created just right, the right amount for it to sustain life? Don't you think there was a creator, or how will I put this now? A smart being or a smart spirit that had a hand in making sure that gravity was just right to sustain life? He said something else, but it was the gravity one that stuck with me like, wow, it's true. God has created everything down to the letter how it should be. Same God that gave us bitter leaf for malaria. I don't know if the Americans have bitter leaf, but we have bitter leaf here for our type of mosquito. I don't know whether the mosquitoes abroad, they go fishing, they get bit by mosquitoes, but somehow they don't have malaria. I don't know why. So God has given us bitter leaf for us to be able to cure malaria. It was here, I think, that is it penicillin or one thing was found from a tree bark, I mean in the Amazon forest or something. Everything God created has a use. There's a reason. Therefore, that child that God gave you, though from your DNA, though from your blood, There's a reason for that child, and there's a reason why that child is that particular way. Okay, and we have a call. Hello.
Good morning to you, my lady.
Good morning, the real gift.
Thank you very much. Well, let me start on a light note, please.
Okay.
Once again, before you told us the story, you said, let you shock us a little. Think before you shock us, you should get our medical report. So that I don't want Sunday where you thought of shocking me now. I pass out. So, so that was on a light note. For me, life reflections. Every time I does one, has one or two to tell. Some positive, some negative. Most important thing is definitely life has lessons. Lessons for every time I does what to learn. Because what we pray for is that you are able to learn and use what we've learned to better ourselves and others who come across also our story. Also better themselves. For me, that's a lot comparison. For me, I've seen that nobody better pass me.
Okay, I like that.
You know, because the truth is, no two humans are the same. Every timeline of God has something that is unique about that person. So for me, that is what I live on. The most important thing for me is strive. Yes, some of us were not born. Okay, let me speak for myself, yeah. I was not born with a spoon in my mouth. I was told they even struggled to open up my mouth, you know. They made me cry when they opened it up. Nothing was in my mouth. But you know, you have to carve a spoon for yourself. For those of us who are born into wealth, let me put it that way. And so, when you think that the grass on the other side is greener, until you step into the garden on the other side, you now realize that you have more worn-out grasses in that garden than you have in yours. So you have to believe in yourself first. And then believe that definitely you can make it. There's no two ways about it. So many of us, you know, we are still struggling anyway, but the truth is we are moving forward. Just like I told you some time ago, the crocodile movement, you don't look back, you move forward because you believe you are going somewhere. And then in course of going, you must achieve. There's no two ways about it. Every time you have to learn, like the story you told us earlier, the man who is now a farmer, that's threshing away all he had. The good thing in that story for me was that at least the children are doing good and taking care of their mother today. Because it could have been worse, you know.
Yeah.
There are some who at the end of the day might not have even looked after their children and their kids to, you know, bring them up. I have one uncle, he's late now, who refused to give his children education because he said his father did not get him or did not give him education. And then you ask yourself, what would be the order in that family? Is it not ignorance, foolishness, and stupidity? But to God be the glory, those who are able to push themselves, and then one of his sons, his first son is doing well. It's my elder cousin anyway. But generally, we have to reflect. I've made some mistakes. The reason why I stopped making comparisons between myself and others was way back when I was in primary 4. Then one of my classmates had a birthday party. And then because as I said, you know, some of us we are the bullies in the class. So she refused to you know, to give me what she shared for her birthday. Myself and those of us in that clique then, a couple of days down the line, and I manufactured my own birthday. And then at the end of the day, some of my classmates, or one of my classmates, who incidentally they were living in the same compound, because he didn't get enough, he now brought the story to my parents that this was what happened. The question is, where did you, or where did I get the money to buy those things? And one day, and I got the beating of my life. And that was when I decided that, no, because some not did it does not mean I should do it. Some not did it is possible that he can afford it. But because I want to be like Damuno, and then I do the wrong thing, at the end of the day, who suffers? I did. Other people jump those things. Nobody did them. But I'm a sufferer. Bottom line, strive to achieve. And I believe I will never, I keep saying it, I will never remain the same because I know I'm looking at a bigger picture. So for all of us who are still struggling, 2018 might not be what we want it to be or what we look for it to be. The most important thing is that we are still alive today. And I believe we have an opportunity to make amends, the amends is needed, and achieve even higher than we even expected. Thank you very much, my lady. Somebody said you're an embodiment of wisdom and you try to dance around this, you know, isolate yourself. But I ask you a question, if you can answer me vividly, please.
Okay.
Is it possible for you, because you want to run, you decide to leave your footers behind, please? It's not possible. Well, with what you are giving to us, definitely without wisdom, and I believe a gift from God on you, you won't dish out what you give us on a weekly basis. So I want to join Mr. Ben to wish you all the best, and I pray that the great remainder of 2018 will be better, not just for you, but even for all of us, the listeners.
Amen.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
I agree with that one. Amen. Thank you for calling. I agree with the real gift. It will be better for all of us, not just me, but all of us. And hey, if you agree, say amen. Amen, amen. Okay, so it's 11:31. Remember, you can call in, give your own contributions, your own advice, your own reflection, whatever it is you have. Even ask a question. We're all here, not myself alone, but all of us listening could also have, well, a perspective that could help you, or an idea that could help move you forward or move your dream forward. Numbers to call, remember, 081 885 88155. That's 081 885 88155 and 080 928 95620. That's 080 928 95620. And you can send a text message to 09086681703. That's 09086681703. Now, life lesson number, I don't know, I think I've lost count as it is between 5 and 6 or 6 or 7. Sacrifices. Yes, that's one of the reflections for today. Sacrifices. Many times we have dreams in us, and it will take a sacrifice to get that dream out or to birth that dream. Now, I have this relation of mine. I won't call his name, but he's living with some of his relatives as well. Oh, yeah, relative of mine. He's living with some of his relatives as well. And you see, he gets to sleep on the couch. He's been with them for 3 years. They respect him. You know, everybody calls him uncle and everything. They respect him. Because when some things are needed in the house, he helps get them. Maybe if there's no fuel for the generator and he happens to have money, he will go and buy. Or he can help the mother of the house, you know, wash her clothes, stuff like that. The thing is, this young man is older than all of the woman's children in the house. He had a good job, but I think he was either retired or told to leave. He returned to base, which is somewhere in the east, and his son now happened to get into the university. And this man looked at himself. He's not so old, but well, like I said, he's older than the lady's children, who The youngest in her house is 30, well, in the 30s, early 30s. I can't remember the age, but early 30s. And here's this man older than them, and he's sleeping on the couch. Now, how did it happen? You see, I said his son got into university, and of course, they needed to pay his tuition. And so this young man travels down to Port Harcourt and looks for a job as a security guard. And that's what he's been doing. But you see, life in Port Harcourt can be quite expensive. And so he reached out to his relatives who said, okay, come and stay. But the thing is, we don't have any room. Can you manage the sofa, the couch, and the parlor? And he's like, okay. And so every evening, he would spread something on the chair, and he would lie down and sleep. As early as, they say, as early as 4:30, he has gotten up, arranged himself, and he's off to work. Not because he enjoys doing that, but because sacrifice. And you see, this sacrifice is going to take him far. It's for his tomorrow. He is training his son, whom by the grace of God will not only graduate, but would get into a good school and change the lives of the family. And this is from experience. Let me tell you this other guy's story. He went to Okrika Grammar School. No, I don't have permission to use his name, but he went to Okrika Grammar School. His dad had died and had left, he died in an accident, and there was this car, that the accidented car anyway. So it got repaired through the help of family friends, and they put it on the road. But you see, they couldn't, it wasn't enough to put this guy through school, but well, they managed. No be small suffer. Some of the kids had to go and live with other relatives or even family friends that were from the same village as they, or even town, you know. The elder sister got married, so she too took on some responsibility, and this young man just kept on going. Now, one day, he would come to say hello to my dad and say he was leaving for university. 2 trousers, and I think 2 shoes, two shirts, 2 shoes or a shoe. Good looking fellow. I must admit, as a small child, I had a bit of a crush on him. So my dad blessed him, you know, did what he could do for him, and he left. Now let me fast forward, because you know there's a lot of suffer involved in this. I mean, there was no money, but he got through school. This guy is currently on cross-posting in, I think, Canada or America or France, somewhere, for one of the big-time companies in Transamadi. I don't want to call the name because I'm protecting his privacy. He's on cross-posting. He has built a house for his mother. His family is okay. I think his family is even over there with him. But how did he start? Sacrifice. How did he start? Suffering. It was the sacrifice of his mother. Because they did not have enough, the woman tried her best. Now she sees something. And she's a strong woman. But you see, her sacrifice paid off. That's what brought up the story. Her sacrifice paid off to send this boy to school. And now he has turned around to be the eye of the family. But even in his own suffering, see where he has gotten now. So yes, I believe that this young man, who is having to sleep on the couch of, you know, his relatives, because he wants to see his son through school and cater for his family, one day the son will turn around and remember and say, Papa, take, because you suffered for me, you sacrificed for me. And that's how it is for all of us. We must, for our dreams, for that thing we're looking at tomorrow, we must sacrifice our comfort today for greater comfort tomorrow. There's a taxi driver that I sometimes use. I call him Uncle Mo. Yeah. One day he was talking to me about his life. He said, my sister, I used to be fair, and this guy now is almost dark brown. He said, I used to be very fair, but now suffer keep me like this. And as we got to talk, I found out that he has a house or 2. Where he's from is Akwa Ibom. Where he's from. How did he manage to get money for that? Back in the day, in the 80s, he used to drive all this local government chairman, you know, some government affiliated people. and sometimes they will go for courses or they will go for seminars or stuff in other states, and they would have to stay there for a month or two. And of course, they will cater for the driver. But he went to meet his Oga and said, Oga, instead of paying hotel, please give me the money. And these monies they were giving him, he was using to build house or houses in his state. Sometimes he will have to sleep in the car or cut a few side deals and, you know, patch with somebody in one corner, as in sacrifice. And even though life is still a bit tough, he's a landlord and managing to make something from there. Recently, he was talking about his daughters. They would have to go to university. He doesn't know what he's going to do, but man, he will fight. He will work. And somehow, even if it is polytechnic, he will put his daughter through. Sacrifice. Life lessons don't come cheap. But you know what? You see his sacrifice. In time, it will pay off. So I'm speaking to you as well. Who is having to sacrifice one thing or the other because you have a vision, a dream about tomorrow? Sacrifice it. Yes, sacrifice. Scream, save, do all you can that is good, that is legal, so that your tomorrow, oh, the Igbo say, Echidime, tomorrow is pregnant. But for today, okay, welcome back, and it looks like we have a call. Hello? Hello? Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is
Henry from Port Harcourt. All right, go ahead, Henry.
Okay, I want to ask you for your people. You're really working with that. Thank you for your work.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Henry, so much, and I appreciate you for listening.
Although I make some life changes in my life, which I think they have now been some students for this in my life. So,
Thank you, Henry. Thank you for calling in. Bye-bye. Okay, so two things real quick. Yes, this is where I get to round up. If you'd like to connect with the show, the program, if you'd like to sponsor or anything, yeah, or just talk about whatever, you know, two heads are better than one and all that, you can call on 080-9805-1480. That's 080-9805-1480, and we can talk about anything. Of course, if you'd like to share your stories as well, you can send me an email on dawnonsundays@gmail.com. That's dawnonsundays@gmail.com. Dawn is spelled DAWN. And you can also connect with us on various social media platforms. On Twitter, it's Dawn on Sundays, all one word, DAWN. On Facebook, we have two Facebook pages. Yeah, well, I don't know what I was doing. I just created two by mistake. So that's Dawn on Sundays and then the Dawn on Sundays like page. Yeah, so there are two. We post videos, write-ups, different things. If you happen to miss the show, yes, you can go there and, well, watch the program, or at least play it, be listening without watching, because basically it's just me sitting down talking. So, yeah. Then we're also on YouTube as well, Dawn on Sundays. Remember, Dawn is spelled DAWN on Sundays, of course. Let's see, yes, I think that's about it. Of course, if you still want to contact me on Instagram, where I do my play things there, Charmcaster, CHARMCASTAR, and I will be at your disposal for your amusement. Joking. Anyway, final thoughts. Two things. Life reflection number, Lord knows what. Don't hate. You see somebody breaking ground or achieving different things, don't hate, don't envy, don't be jealous. You see, that is that person's work. You don't know what that person has passed through to get to that position. You don't know the training and whatnot it took to get that person to that position in life. So don't hate. If anything, use them as fuel for your greatness. Use them as the thing that keeps you determined to make something of yourself. Because you don't know what that person did to make themselves, as in their own determination, the own strength and fight it took for them to get to that position. So don't hate someone who's successful. Or we've covered the one where, okay, we don't know the source of their wealth, the source of their success, but don't hate them, especially if their success is genuine. Don't hate them because of where they are or the blessing God has given them. Use them for fuel, use them as determination. Keep your eye on them so that you can achieve even more than they. Let them be that push you need. Now finally, you will never know what you can achieve if you don't at least try. Either you can or either you can't, but at least you will know. So you see, when an opportunity provides itself, take it. Bad as a bad, you fail and you know, okay, this is not my strong suit, or this is not my forte, this is something I'm not cut out for. Okay, but at least you tried, you know there will be no regrets. Finally, yes, regrets. There will be regrets. Opportunities we missed, things we failed to do, or things we didn't do properly. Don't beat yourself too much. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. Forgive yourself. Forgive. Keep forgiving. Keep forgiving till you stop cringing anytime you remember that thing you did or did not do. Till the regret stops having some kind of power over you. Move forward. Okay, so yes, 6 minutes at the top of the hour. Beautiful Aurelia Trust. Just sauntered in. Yes, I watched her, sashaying. And she will soon be here to tell you it's 12 o'clock. But before she comes in to tell you that, love yourself, accept yourself, your quirks and all. Because you see, those quirky, weird things about you make you who you are. So here's this one by Mary Lambert. Secrets. Take everybody. I'll talk to you same time, same station next week.